Hello and happy Friday the 13th. Welcome to the September 2019 full moon release ritual and garden tour. I'm starting on my kitchen windowsill where I am beginning to commence to get ready for winter by bringing in plants one by one and also showing off my new plants. So I have an arrowhead and a heart Hoya, and that is a pink princess philodendron. You can see some of the pink there. A mini African violet and an African violet. Oh, that was a string of hearts. And then African violet, and here's the mini African violet. And then I have my ground orchids. Aren't they beautiful? So these three. This one looks like it might be perking up. It did not travel well. This one is really incredible because it shows this sparkliness. I've shown it to you before, I know, but I really like it. And another Hoya vine, and then my jade plant. There we go. My Abraham Darby rose is reflowering some. This is such a beautiful flower and it has a wonderful scent as well. Love this. These are garlic chives. Make sure you put them in an area that you don't mind them spreading because they will spread a lot, but I enjoy having them here quite a bit. And you see I leave the seed heads on things for so the birds can have access to them. And here's another Navy Lady rose. It's such a velvety, beautiful, beautiful rose. I'll be picking that soon. And down here behind a bunch of sweetgrass and some lavender, we have a geranium, and I think that's a snapdragon. I'm not sure. We'll see. Here's my big pile of sweetgrass. And the Venus dogwood is starting to turn one leaf at a time right now, but soon it'll be all of them. My front planters this year for summer are a failure, a dismal failure, I have to say. The sweet potato vine took over everything. The cannas didn't grow enough to flower. And they just look sad and tired. But I have made the autumn ones, and I will bring them out shortly. And you can see the wreath is turning red as well. So my mandarin orange tree is looking okay. I don't know where those yellowing leaves are coming from. I'll have to check that out. But in general, it's okay. My bay tree almost always looks good. If you want a tree for inside, and bays don't grow in your zone outside, I strongly recommend this. It works really well. I think I'm a little allergic to borage. It always makes my hands break out, but the bees love it, so I let it come back. So I have planted up my fall pots, but you see I leave them there to adjust some, and you see all the yellow on them. That's part of the adjustment. So I dug up some extra kale I had and stuck it in there, and it's a little upset about being transplanted. So I'll take off all the yellow and give it a couple of days, and hopefully the mums will start blooming as well. Usually by mid-late August, we have tomatoes that go way over the top of the fence and we start cutting them down. This year, they really haven't gotten very high. You can see here. And we had some die-off back here as well. My poor apple tree, I still don't know what happened to those branches that broke off that didn't have any apples on them, but we will be picking those apples in the next few days, our tiny, tiny little harvest. Our other new apple tree has not had fruit this year. It's too young. So this is the other tomato bed. We're getting a reasonable amount of tomatoes. I have depended on neighbors' donations to have enough to put up for salsa, but there's enough for us to have a salad regularly, which is nice. So before I go and pick tons and tons of dahlias for our vases, I will show them to you in situ. Aren't they beautiful? And here's some more, along with my Graham Thomas English rose that looks a little beat up from the storm we just had. That red one is quite spectacular. This one is way taller than me. I know I'm short, but still, that's impressive for a flower. Just in case you ever wonder about a plant's will to live, that is basically just a stick of begonia that I threw on the compost heap when I was making the hanging baskets a couple of months ago, and check that out. It looks healthier than any of the other ones. Isn't that beautiful? I think I'll dig that back up. But of course it likes being on compost. Time for the sedums. They're looking very pretty. I have planted bunches of Japanese ferns, but this is really the only one that's super happy. And it's so beautiful, don't you think? I love that silvery and purple color together. Here's another example of the begonia. You see I put other house plants in them. So the full moon release ritual is part of a gratitude practice that I do twice a month. At the new moon, I make a list asking for things, what I would like to receive, and then at the full moon, what I'm willing to let go of, what I've had enough of. So I write a list and thank the universe for putting these things into my life, even if it's just thanking for the lesson, if I didn't actually want it. And then I light it and let go of the things. It works really well, surprisingly well. And of course, it puts gratitude at the forefront of your mind. So when I first started doing this, which I believe was maybe last November, I had great trouble lighting things, keeping things on fire. And that is not a problem anymore. You can just watch your wishes go up. Make sure you burn it in something that won't cause a fire outside. This is my charcoal chimney lighter. So it's a very safe place to burn. Even if it wasn't so wet, it would be safe. And there it goes, up to the sky. See you in 2 weeks.